Thanks for joining us at 10. I'm Alexandra Lewis.
I'm Kim Christensen. Tonight, as tensions rise in the Middle East and the U.S. goes another day without a nuclear deal with Iran, the city of Denver says its federally funded nuclear detection program has been cut off.
9 News reporter Spencer Soysher joins us now. Spencer, the city is suing the Trump administration over what they're calling a safety issue.
Yeah, the city says that they're concerned that this is happening at the same time as the stuff with Iran and Israel, as well as during the summer when there's a bunch of gatherings and big events. They're concerned about the defunding and the timing. With all that's going on in the world, it may not be the best time to punt on safety protections.
It's very concerning from a public safety standpoint.
Over the past 20 years, the Department of Homeland Security has funded terror prevention programs for more than a dozen areas considered high risk for a terrorist attack. Denver's program began in 2020.
It's just related to the number of special events, mass gatherings, the major transportation corridors.
The program pays for training and equipment to monitor nuclear and radioactive materials in case of an attack. But the city of Denver now says funding for its program has been stopped.
So for the equipment that's out there, it is still in use, but it needs to be maintained. And at some point then, if we can no longer pay for that maintenance, we start to slowly lose that capability.
Denver joined several other cities Monday in suing the Trump administration over the funding freeze.
I don't think this is a wise one to cut.
Jeff King is a research professor at Colorado School of Mines. He says this program is valuable work that keeps people safe.
So if you have that radiological dispersion attack and the local authorities don't have the instruments, don't have the training, don't have the equipment that they need to deal with that, that is absolutely going to amplify the terror.
Mayor Mike Johnston's office says national security shouldn't be political, writing in part, "You wouldn't think we would need to go to federal court to explain why it's important to protect citizens from terrorism. But here we are."
It's one of those things that you may not ever need it, but when you need it, you're really going to regret not having it.
The mayor's office told me today that the city has already budgeted for this program and they don't understand why this spending freeze has happened. I asked the Department of Homeland Security myself. I haven't heard back. Spencer Soysher, 9 News.
New tonight, deputies in western Colorado admit a student from the University of Utah is in ICE custody tonight because of information they shared with the feds. It's not allowed under state law. 19-year-old Caroline Diaz-Goncalves was headed to Denver on June 5th when a Mesa County Sheriff's deputy pulled her over on I-70 outside of Loma. Diaz-Goncalves is a dreamer, born in Brazil, brought to the U.S. when she was 7 years old. Her asylum case is currently pending. According to body camera video the Sheriff's office released a few hours ago, the deputy pulled her over because she was driving too closely behind a semi-truck. During the 20-minute traffic stop, the deputy asked about her background.
Where are you from? You got a little bit of an accent.
I'm from Utah.
You're from Utah? Okay. How long you lived in Utah for?
Like 12 years.
Born and raised or no?
I was born in Brazil.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, and then my parents moved to here, so.
The deputy let Diaz-Goncalves go with a warning. Later that same day, federal agents stopped her, arrested her, and took her to the ICE detention facility in Aurora. The sheriff's office says the deputy who pulled her over was part of a communication group that included local, state, and federal law enforcement. They say the group was supposed to be used for tracking down illegal drugs, but the sheriff's office says they learned federal employees used information shared in that group for immigration enforcement. They say they've since removed all their deputies from the group.
A small grass fire caused some anxiety in Weld County today. A truck got stuck in a field and somehow caught fire, spreading into the grass near the Pleasant View Cemetery. Firefighters got it under control quickly. They say no one was hurt, no buildings ever threatened. 9 News Chief Meteorologist Kathy Sabin is joining us now. And Kathy, anytime we see even a little fire on a hot day, we get nervous.
I know, and especially with the red flag warning and fire weather warning posted for half the state today, western Colorado still under part of that advisory, and thunderstorms we've been tracking tonight have a lot of wind and lightning with them. We have beautiful cloud cover, sunrise and sunset, so very nice, but we've got some changes coming in with the arrival of a cool front. One front came through earlier today, and that that's dropped temperatures just a bit out of the 90s into the 60s and lower 70s. The second front is due in tomorrow. We're still seeing heavy thunderstorms across northeastern Colorado, a lot of hail, a lot of lightning, even a couple of weak tornadoes that touch down. The severe thunderstorm watch for extreme northeastern Colorado cancels out at 11, but still a bit of convection near Raymer and Grover. Storms moving from west to east, and out on the plains, the eastern plains around Ray, we've really seen some very large hail and again the isolated tornadoes. So this watch in effect for Sedgwick and Phillips counties until 11 o'clock. The red flag warning for western Colorado has been scaled back, but still in effect for a large portion of the state. And then tomorrow we're going to be worried about air quality, poor air quality expected with the arrival of a front that's going to bring in a wind shift and some low-level moisture that could lead us to some very strong thunderstorms starting just after 1 o'clock tomorrow. And so the temperature trend for tonight will be comfortable in the 70s now into the mid-60s overnight. And we're going to be looking ahead at a cool day coming up on Tuesday and the potential for record high temperatures in the triple digits for the start of summer. More details on the timing and impact of these weather changes coming up.
MyPillow guy Mike Lindell has been found liable for defamation and ordered to pay more than $2 million to a Coloradan he accused of rigging the 2020 election.
9 News anchor Kyle Clark has been in the courtroom for the 2-week federal trial in Denver, and tonight he explains why Lindell is still claiming victory.
Mike Lindell lost, and he's thrilled. Because while the MyPillow founder was ordered to pay $2.3 million to a Coloradan for claims that he and his voting system company rigged the 2020 election against President Trump, Lindell avoided a monster judgment, something 30 times larger what his opponents had requested. And he will sleep well tonight on a MyPillow, no doubt, because his beloved company was spared any financial judgment.
You think this lawfare against me and all this stuff is going to stop me? No.
Mike Lindell, defiant and loud as usual outside federal court in Denver after he was found liable of defamation but ducked a catastrophic financial penalty. Jurors imposed a $2.3 million judgment on Lindell and his company Frank Speech. No financial hit to MyPillow. Do you have $2.3 million?
So, I don't have to have any money, which I don't. I'm millions of dollars in the hole. I think I told you that in the courtroom. It's about $10 million net worth in the hole.
What Lindell has is pillow-buying MAGA faithful supporting his business and donating to his defense fund on promises that he will at last reveal his long-awaited evidence of election rigging. You said to your supporters when you asked them for money paying your legal fees that at this trial we will reveal to the world the truth about our corrupt election platforms. Then you got inside and you said, actually the trial's not about that. We're not going to put on evidence about the corrupt election platforms. This is about free speech. Here's my question. For all the folks that you've asked for money, who have given you money, when do they get to see your evidence in court as you've promised them?
They've seen the evidence. We've had it posted, Kyle, and what the judge didn't let come out here. We're all in this to try and save the country. I've never done that before. I'm not a grifter. I'd be the worst grifter. You look up grifter, you ain't gonna see me. I'm not good at it. I just spend it all.
Eric Coomer, the former Dominion Voting Systems executive who successfully sued Lindell for defamation, has similar suits against a bunch of other conservative figures who made election rigging claims about him and his former company. Despite being found liable for defamation, Lindell told me today he will keep saying the same things. In Denver, Kyle Clark, 9 News.
After the verdict, the plaintiff, Eric Coomer, said it's time for Lindell to start being honest with his followers. An ally of his, the head of the Colorado County Clerks Association, called the relatively low judgment, quote, incredibly disappointing and quite frankly disturbing.
Right now, Sterling police are looking for this man. He's wanted in connection with a deadly mobile home fire. Police have a warrant out for the arrest of Brandon Harriman for arson and murder. If you know anything about where he is tonight, call police. Also new tonight, deputies in Douglas County are asking for help as they investigate the death of a woman whose body was found along I-25. The sheriff's office says somebody made the discovery early yesterday morning near Larkspur. They don't know who she is or how she died, but they did find this bedding. So they're posting these pictures, see maybe if somebody recognizes it. Deputies are talking with commercial truck drivers who were in that area on June 4th or 5th, hoping to find any dash camera video. If you know anything, call Crime Stoppers at the number on your screen.
The father of a 3-year-old boy who was shot in Aurora this morning is now in custody. Police in Colorado Springs arrested him on unrelated warrants. Aurora police are calling him a person of interest in his son's shooting. This happened this morning inside an apartment off East Exposition Drive, not far from South Chambers. Police say the man was in a back room of the apartment with 3 children when the gun went off, critically injuring the 3-year-old boy. His mother was in a different room at the time. She rushed him to an urgent care clinic. Then he was transferred to Children's Hospital Colorado, where he remains tonight. New tonight, 3 women are hurt after a heavy sign fell down at a popular taco festival in Westminster last week, and one of those women broke her neck.
9 News reporter Rachel Krause spoke with the women who say what happened after was just as frustrating as that incident itself.
I feel terrible. I'm uncomfortable. It's 100 degrees out. I'm in this stupid thing. It's just, I can't do much by myself.
These past few days have been painful for Selena Tony. She's back at home after a night out to Top Taco Festival turned terrifying.
It was fun until it wasn't.
Selena went with her friend Shelly, her daughter Jasmine, and Jasmine's partner Marissa.
Yeah, so we got to Top Taco. We were super excited.
They spotted an I Love Tacos sign and hopped in line to snap a photo.
And so the 4 of us went and posed in front of it, and it was really the last thing I remember.
It was just like all of a sudden the sign was on us, and then I couldn't believe how heavy it was.
I remember I kept reaching for the top of my head, like, I feel like my head has exploded.
Marissa was uninjured. Jasmine's shoulder was hurt. Shelly's arm scraped and bruised. Selena took the brunt.
11 staples, 4-inch gash in my head, 4 fractured vertebrae.
What happened next, she says, was just as concerning.
A lot of chaos and nobody knowing where or what to do.
And then immediately they were like, we can't get an ambulance here. A golf cart pulled up and they're like, we're gonna have to move you in a golf cart. And at that point we knew she was having neck pain. She's saying, I have a really, really bad pain in my neck. Like, we can't get her up walking to a golf cart.
It's extremely disappointing.
Finally, an ambulance arrived, then a second. The women say they were asked to get out of the first ambulance and into the second before heading to the hospital.
The whole thing feels surreal.
Selena says she got a note from the organizers offering to reimburse her tickets.
I would love somebody to say, hey, this was our fault. What can we do? How are you? Where can we help? Don't offer me free tickets to your next event.
She's calling for accountability and answers about how that massive sign was able to fall and demanding better, clearer safety protocols be put in place.
They need to have a very clear way for a medical team to successfully reach people down to the field.
Selena says she's confused about why the city and police never followed up with her about what happened with that sign falling. I did hear back from event organizers tonight. They say the sign falling was the result of an unexpected and severe wind event. And while they had EMT and law enforcement on site, they say, quote, this was an unprecedented and unfortunate incident. And they tell me Selena's well-being is their top priority and they'll be ready to help with any injury claim process. Rachel Krause, 9 News.